What's going on, gamers? This is the Scorpion with EWS coming to you with another game review. Today we have a game called Symphony, produced by an indie developer by the name of Empty Chip Studios. It was released a little earlier this year, back in August, and I was able to pick it up via Steam. Symphony is an aircraft shoot 'em up by the likes of Galaga or 1942, so if you like those games, you're gonna love Symphony. It's a beautifully designed game that is not heavy on your machine. The screen is filled with so much rich colors and sounds that at some points it can be a bit overwhelming. My only complaint about it is that sometimes there's so much going on you can lose enemies or enemy fire in the middle of all the explosions and movement going on. Even with all the graphics happening on screen, it runs smooth and doesn't seem to be a memory hog. What caught my attention about Symphony was the fact that you can use your own library of music to create different levels of gameplay. Basically, when you load the game up, it's going to ask you if you want to scan music from your drive, and then, when given permission, it searches and adds any music files to the game library. Every song will be a different level to play. The game scans and creates different patterns and waves of enemies the first time you choose a song. And within that song, there are different levels of difficulty. So if you think about it, depending on how much music you have on your system, you could have an endless amount of game levels to play. And don't worry if you have the slow jams on your system. You might think it being a slow song that it won't be as challenging, but that's not the case. I'm not exactly sure what the game reads when scanning a song, but I played a slow duet and it was just as hard as a rock song. The more you play, the more weapons you unlock, and also the more points you're awarded. And of course, with these points, you can buy upgrades for those weapons that you equip to your ship. The stronger your ship though, the less points you're awarded as you play the level and kill off enemies. Also in game, a random song will be taken over by a boss enemy, or demons as they call them. You will not face regular waves of enemies, but a single harder enemy. Every time you beat one, you unlock a third of a sheet of music, and there are several of these sheets to be unlocked in order to beat the game. If you love video games and music, this game is hard not to pick up. It's easy to boot up and play even just for a song or two when you need to kill off a few minutes. If you haven't already checked out Symphony, and or you're even just a little curious about this shoot 'em up game, I suggest you give it a try. I doubt you will be disappointed. Again, this is the Scorpion with EWS. Thanks for listening, and thanks for subscribing.